In this video, we're going to talk about how to stop worrying about your finances. Coming up. All right, so let's cut right to the chase. Worrying about our finances is one of the main stressors or worries in most of our lives. Most people who are stressed out and, having depression and anxiety and all of those things, most of the time, those things center around our finances, stressing about our money, stressing about, how we're going to pay our bills and all those things. So I want to talk for a moment about how we can stop doing that. And one of the first things that you're going to have to do, and this is hard, maybe a hard pill to swallow, but you're going to have to make some tough decisions. You're going to have to make the hard decisions. There are some decisions that you need to make in terms of what you're going to have to stop doing in your life that is really going to push your life in a total different direction as far as, stressing about money is concerned. And one of those things may be, your habits, your current habits. What are you doing every day that is contributing to that stress? Really take a look at the things that you are doing and, make those tough decisions to stop the things that are hurting you from a financial standpoint. And trust me, if you're able to do that, some of those stresses will immediately go away. When you become honest with yourself about the things that you're doing to contribute to whatever financial situation that you're in, once you stop them, it's like night and day. You start to get this relief of, oh man, I feel great. I'm not doing that anymore. And I don't have to do that, because a lot of times people get into situations where they're doing things that they don't have to do, but they think they do. They think they have to conduct themselves a certain way or buy this specific thing or, have this specific habit that is taking money away from them. And, when you really make that decision that is something you don't have to do, it is very cathartic and it is very, eye-opening, and it allows you to move into a space of calm and peace about what you are doing with your money. And with that, you have to address your fear of change. One of the main things that happens with most of us is, we have this fear of change. We start to see the things that we definitely know we have to do. And the moment we get to the point of, realizing those things, we have a fear. It's a fear of change. We get afraid of doing the things that we know we need to do because we don't want to get to a point where the alternative may be worse than what we are already experiencing. And that's just fear. You have to be able to look fear in the face and say, what I'm going through right now, I don't want to continue in doing that specific thing, or I don't want to continue doing exactly what I'm doing right now because it's not leading me to where I want to go. So I'm going to change. I want to be able to take this moment and change and do something else, regardless of how I feel about what may happen. You can't have a fear of what may happen. You have to see what is actually happening in the moment that you're in and be able to say to yourself, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do what I'm doing. I'm not going to repeat the steps that I'm taking right now. I'm going to change the direction by changing what I'm doing, and I'm not going to have a fear about that. Yes, you may get into situations that, aren't the best. Yes, you may have to go through tougher trials through whatever situation that you're in. But once you go through that, what's on the other side of that is achievement. What's on the other side of that is success. You have to understand that what's on the other side of fear is always a success in something, especially if you've done your research and you know that, hey, there's something that I can be doing better than what I'm doing, and I just need to step out in faith and do it. And once you do that, once you step out in faith of something and you do that, even if you go through whatever trials or tribulations are connected to that specific change, you're going to be better for it because the change itself is changing you to become a better person and be able to work towards the things that you want and the things that you need in your life. So definitely do that. Address the fear of change in your life and see what happens. And obviously, to stop worrying about your finances, one key thing that we can do is make more money. We can make more money. Try to get on a path of making more money. And sometimes that's as simple as asking for more for what you're already doing. And, you'll be surprised at how many people don't ask for what they're worth. Even if you are in a job that has a specific set salary or specific set dollar amount that people are offering for it, you can still ask for more. And you'd be surprised that sometimes you may get it. You may get that extra $5 to $6 that you're asking for if you ask for it. And if you show that you have the value and that you can bring the value to the table that is going to justify having that extra money. Because, just as we talked about in another video, you have to understand what is being made off of you, or how the money is being generated and what you're actually doing. Because a lot of times, most companies, they're paying you one specific thing, but they're making something astronomically more off of the service that you are providing. So you want to know how much, the real service that you're providing is worth, and be able to ask for what you are worth, be able to ask for what you think you are worth, and have that value about yourself. And, do that consistently throughout your life. Have that perspective of, no, I can make more. And that will be something that really takes a lot of that worry out of your life. And the next thing that goes along with that is knowing how to spend the money that you make. Now, this is something we all have been a victim of. We tend to spend more money than we actually make. There are people that are doctors, lawyers, entertainers, whatever, what have you, make millions of dollars, and they still overspend. They still end up broke at the end of the day because of their spending. So one of the key ways to stop worrying about money is to spend less. Focus on something else more than just spending money. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're having to spend all of your money to feel a certain way, to feel good about yourself. And I know that's easier said than done, because a lot of the reasons why we overspend is tied up in our emotional attachment to how that makes us feel and what we think about ourselves. So really addressing those issues and really addressing how we can get to the point of, I don't need to do that. I don't need to overspend. I don't need to feel this certain way about not having, this thing or whatever money can buy this way. That will get you to the point, or at least lead you to the point of not being worried about money. You don't want to continue to worry about your finances, because that is at the detriment of really getting to the ultimate place of being financially free or being able to build wealth. You have to stop worrying about money. You have to stop putting money in front of everything else that's great in your life. Now, the next thing you can do is really a part of all of these things, which is prevention. Once you figure out what things are throwing you off in your life in terms of your finances, or in terms of your money, you can start to prevent those things. If you can see things coming down the road, and you will, the more you start to focus on the things that we talked about, you'll start to see patterns, and you'll start to see, all the things that are coming that are going to maybe put you into a situation where you're going to worry about your finances, and, start to prevent those things. Start to see them before they come and prevent them. Don't allow yourself to get into a space where you're going down a tunnel that is going to lead you to worry. Again, I know it's sometimes harder to do that than to say it, but you can start to see the patterns, and you can move to that space once you do understand that it is an option. It is an option to do. Prevention is always an option. It's always an option to prevent some things that are pattern-oriented things in your life, because we do tend to repeat the same money situations over and over again. We go through the same money problems. Money problems pretty much don't change. It's either your bills, it's either some kind of a medical emergency, it's either, some kind of travesty that happens that is going to cause you to have to, do something with your money that is going to be adverse to what you're used to doing. So you can see those patterns, and if you can start to see those patterns, just work towards preventing those things from happening. And that will lead you to a point of being able to control the money worries in your life. And lastly, just focus on being happy. Focus on being happy in those things that make you happy without money. And I say this a lot because I do want this to stick with people. You have to focus on the things in your life that make you happy without money. There are so many things that have nothing to do with spending money or making money that really generate happiness in our lives, or can generate happiness in your life. Really focus on those things. Find out what those things are for you, and give those things presence in your life. Give them focus in your life. I hope this has been extremely helpful for someone. And until we talk again, I wish you health, wealth, and freedom.